Grace Robarts Ober's life is filled with stories of unwavering devotion and profound sacrifice, as she dedicated every moment to serving the Bahá'í Faith. Her journey began when she was introduced to the faith by Lua Getzinger. With a heart full of certainty, Grace immediately recognized Bahá'u'lláh and embraced the faith wholeheartedly. When Lua invited her to help prepare a home for Abdu'l-Bahá's visit to Chicago, Grace eagerly joined, seeing it as an opportunity to serve. After their work was complete and Abdu'l-Bahá's stay was nearing its end, Grace felt an overwhelming desire to remain close to him. She asked for permission to follow him to New York and assist in his household. Abdu'l-Bahá's response was both stern and loving. "Are you sure you wish to serve me?" he asked. He posed the question 3 times, and each time Grace's resolve grew stronger. Finally, he consented, saying, "Very well, go, settle your affairs, and we will meet in New York." Overjoyed, Grace traveled to New York, eagerly awaiting Abdu'l-Bahá's arrival. However, when he arrived, he warmly greeted Lua, but glanced at Grace as though she were a stranger. In the days that followed, Grace worked tirelessly, cooking, cleaning, and serving from dawn until midnight. Yet Abdu'l-Bahá did not acknowledge her presence. When their paths crossed, he would step aside, drawing his robe as if she were invisible. Whenever she paused to rest, more tasks awaited her. Doubt crept in. Had he forgotten her? Was she unworthy? Had she misunderstood his permission to come to New York? The breaking point came when the household prepared to accompany Abdu'l-Bahá to Brooklyn for the filming of his visit. Grace had hoped to join them, but at the last moment, she was told to stay behind to greet 2 visitors who never arrived. Feeling discarded, she sought solace in arranging the white roses delivered daily for Abdu'l-Bahá's room, a small task she cherished. But that day, when she reached the top of the stairs, she found his door locked. Heartbroken, she collapsed on the floor, the roses scattering around her as she wept. Later, exhausted and hungry, she went to the kitchen, where she found only an egg and a piece of bread. She boiled the egg, but it exploded in her face. As she slowly crumbled the bread and ate it, a realization dawned. She was eating the crumbs from Abdu'l-Bahá's table. This moment brought her profound peace, and a spirit of prayer filled her heart. That evening, Lua came to her with a message. "The Master has asked me to tell you that he knows you wept." For the first time, Grace understood that her ordeal had a purpose. She prayed deeply, seeking wisdom and selflessness. In the stillness of her heart, a question arose. "Are you as happy scrubbing garbage pails as you are arranging roses?" The answer came with clarity. True service is joyful, no matter the task. In that moment, the door to her room opened, and Abdu'l-Bahá entered, his arms outstretched, his face radiant with light. "Welcome," he cried. "Welcome to the kingdom." He embraced her deeply, and from that moment on, he never withdrew his presence from her again. Grace continued to serve in every way she could. Later in life, she embarked on a 5-year teaching journey through the southern United States, even enduring illness for 3 of those years. Eventually, she was admitted to a convalescent home. Around this time, Shoghi Effendi had called for pioneers to South America, and Grace's heart ached to respond. She prayed fervently to find a way to serve. On her first evening at the home, a Valentine's Day party was planned. Determined to participate, Grace prepared a costume but fainted before the event and was found unconscious, unable to walk. The next day, she managed to join the festivities in a wheelchair. To her delight, the guest performers were from Chile, Argentina, Peru, and Brazil. Recognizing the humor of the situation, Grace laughed. When asked how she could find joy after such an ordeal, she replied, "Because I am a Baha'i. Do you know what that means?" She then shared the message of Bahá'u'lláh with everyone in the room, giving the performers literature to take home to their countries. From her wheelchair, Grace became the pioneer she had longed to be, spreading the message of the Bahá'í Faith to South America.